so we went to a place called the Azteca Mexican Grill, right? On our visit to OKC, which is where we're currently at right now. And so we drove across town to go try this out. Price is about average, and the place is kind of easy to get to. So let's do a quick review on it. First off, presentation, building looks good. Mm-hmm. Looks pretty, up to date. There's some places around here we noticed that were like kind of rough.
Yeah.
And this one wasn't one of them. It was pretty good. So went inside, fully staffed. There was no waiting around. There was none of that.
Yeah, and either the owner or the owner's mother or the mother-in-law. Like there was family. It was a family kind of run place.
That's what it seemed like.
I got fast about it.
And we didn't wait. Our chips that once we were seated, we asked. Getty asked for a specific seat. We got it. Once we sat down, chips, salsa, queso, all that was dropped to us, plus the picosa version.
I think that version, they call it picosa, I think it's trying to say like hot.
Yeah, but like
hot.
Heat, like temperature hot, but not like spicy.
Yeah.
Not the traditional way.
Because their Spanish were different than our Spanish, I think.
I don't know. I have no idea. But apparently this one here was like, So Oklahoma Mex versus Tex-Mex, there is a difference in taste. The beans were different. The rice was different. Mm. Let's talk about what we got first. What'd you get, Eddie?
I got mole. I never had it in my life.
Mole. Mole, the way they prepare it is chicken. It's basically shredded chicken with a spicy sauce, and they add a little bit of chocolate to it. And if you've never had it before, depending where you go, they make it different. Some places add chocolate, some places don't.
Sometimes it's more bitter, sometimes it's more sweet.
Yeah.
It really depends on who's making it, where you're making it.
And the way I like it is more spicy.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought it would be. I thought it would be like more spicy. It's like a Hershey bar.
I grabbed the beef fajitas.
I got chicken fajitas.
And then we were kind of hanging out. It took probably about 10 minutes to get the food out from when we placed the order. Our refills were fucking on top.
Yeah.
I mean, JD would just bottom out and they were already bringing them a refill or picking the glass up to take it. Same for Yeti with the Sprite. And I held on to my tea for that one drink I had for the entire visit.
I mean, granted, we were pretty close to the kitchen as well. But I don't know how much that affected. But they were constantly running food by us.
I was gonna say, the people around the corner, however many people there were there was plates back and forth the whole time.
Before we get into the food, I also want to quick shout out. They just started doing a mural right there at the beginning, at the entrance of the restaurant for the World Cup, and they were doing like a kind of like a time lapse video of it. They were still painting. They just finished when we came in. I don't know if they're gonna add more to it or not, but the way it looked was super cool, especially because they have some LED lights that they have permanently installed in that entrance area. Mm-hmm. And how the entrance lights they were kind of rotated through them, but it was all it was Mexico colors for a while, which I thought was really cool for the World Cup and everything else that they had right there. And I was like, man.
Yeah, the big Mexican flag, then the big American flag, and then the Canadian flag. So it's got all of North America represented there. It's pretty sick. And they were still working on it. But then, of course, when we got there, the big crowds of people were showing up right behind us.
Yeah.
And I mean, to say there was food back and forth, plates back and forth, we didn't even bottom out on salsa before they were replacing it.
Yeah.
We didn't bottom out on queso without asking, hey, would you guys like another one? We didn't even pay for the queso. It just came with the chips.
And then anybody who came in after us, there was no wait. Like, it was literally, you come in, you sit down.
Yep.
The only people who waited were like the Door Dashers and stuff.
And the people when there was no seats because we were waiting on that big family to leave.
Yeah.
As soon as they left and they split and everybody else went and sat down.
Mm-hmm. But everything was pretty quick, efficient. I love the service.
Yep.
Super friendly. They were all talkative.
Yeah, they look like work hands.
And all the ladies, one would get your drink, run off. The other one would be like, oh, you got your drinks. Have you ordered yet? No. They take your order, run off to the back. No one come, hey, I know they just took your order. Do you guys want refills? It was just one after another. And it was literally all the girls cycling through all the tables. see who needed what.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were doing that on the table. I kept listening to them, different people talking to the couple behind us.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, it was no different.
And then everybody didn't have like they're doing like on the tables, everybody's working every table at the same time.
I mean, they may have had their own, like most places you go have their own section. They was just literally everyone's getting everything. And it was pretty sick. Now let's talk about the food. I got the beef fajitas. The beef strips were probably about a 1/2 inch cut in strips all the way around, and they were super tender. They were just slightly on the dry side, but with the salsa and everything else, it was pretty good. It came with rice and beans, pico de gallo, and some other, I think it was like some other little cut up onions they had, plus everything on the grill. Of course, you don't get your fajitas without the onions and the jalapenos and bell peppers and everything else that they cook with it, which was spot on. I think that everything was, however they grilled it back there, it was perfect. It was great. It came out hot. It wasn't sizzling on the plate, but the plates were fucking hot to the touch.
Yeah.
So
mine pretty much the same, except I got chicken on my fajitas. Mine was like a chicken breast that they like marinated and then seasoned before cooking, because the chicken itself, because they cut, like, it was a full chicken breast that was cut maybe like into 6 to like 8 pieces, but it was moist. It was very like tender. It had, the flavor to the chicken by itself was great. And then I also like the rice that had like, it had peas, carrots, like it was definitely a different type of rice, which I like the flavor and the texture of just everything that went into the rice.
Oh, yeah.
Beans were nice and creamy. The tortillas were pretty warm too, like they were hot.
they seemed fresh because whenever I packed it to make a little taco, I mean, it held together. When I was, I mean, I packed them thick too. So when I was taking bites, I got about halfway done with the taco, and I mean, it was blowing out of the backside, but the tortillas did not give. So they were put together pretty good. That's one part I liked about that too. Right, mole.
They cooked it real good. It was all shredded up chicken. Was their little seasoning they put on top. I wish they would have had more spiciness to it. But at the overall, it was a pretty good thing. It came with rice. I wish they would give me some beans. That would have been nice.
Yeah, their beans were pretty good. Like, I mean, like, obviously it's refried beans, but these were like very like
creamy.
great. Like they mixed them. They pounded these beans.
And that's all
there was no bean left. It was literally just like a frosted paste.
Yeah, that's all. Your beans had that crumbly cheese on it.
Yeah.
They had it looked like Scarface cheese. It was just white powdery goodness, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" So I took a scoop of it to try it, and I'm like, "Oh, this is cheese."
I don't know how to say it in English. It's called crumbly cheese. In Spanish, that's how you say it.
Crumbly cheese.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, however you say it is what it was. It was good, and they put it on that and the rice.
So that's what I said. I wish I would have had some beans in mine. It would have been made it taste a little bit better.
Now, in terms of what I didn't like about the place, which is very nitpicky, I'm not shitting on anything. Everything about it was great. Experience was great. Service was top notch. It's just, obviously, when you try different places, they have different variations of what they consider to be spicy, or this is a good medium, but it's not salty enough, or not spicy enough, right? So, where we're coming from in our part of Texas, when they say this is hot, it usually is, oh, your mouth's on fire, this is hot. Their version of hot was still tolerable, but it wasn't at all like...
I have good flavor.
It had flavor, but it wasn't hot. And I was expecting the worst, and it was not.
The way you said it, oh, picoso. I'm like, hell yeah.
Well, and not to put them down, but I agree. Especially with the spice, I've lived in, this is my third border state that I've lived in. And all three states, I would say, have slightly different variations when it comes to spice. And I would say, compared to here, it's a bigger step where I'm like, cool, from Texas to Arizona, when they say this is hot, this is medium or whatever, like you can see where it slightly varies. But from there to OKC, there's a big difference. When we say mild, like they're like, oh, here you go. It's tomato. When you're like, I want spicy, you get like what we would consider maybe a mild. Even then, like I was like, this is very, like everything, how it was very tomatoey.
I think a good comparison to their hot, the hot one they gave us was comparable to like paste mild.
Yeah.
The paste picante sauce.
The paste. And don't get me wrong, like paste, I like paste for like breakfast burritos. Because it's more sweet than it is hot. Like it does have that kick, but it's more sweet.
Obviously, it is a little bit different. It's not exactly on the border. Their food is very good. The nitpicky salsa complaint, I wouldn't even call it really a complaint. It was just not what I expected. In terms of the food, the flavor, the portions, I got to where I could barely finish the plate. By the time I ate all the beans and rice and I was just finishing the last tortilla to make a taco with the rest of the meat and veggies, I was done. Like all of us were tapped at this point.
So something I think everybody can understand when they come with this comparison is, if you compare this to Chili's, I would say has very consistent when it comes to their fajitas and stuff, and theirs comes out sizzling or whatever. I would feel like ours, the meat at least, had more flavor.
Yes.
And I don't think it is as big as Chili's, but the plate that you get is packed, and it does leave you, like, I was struggling to finish. I remember that we were all saying, we're like, oh, fuck. Part of me thinks that was also because they were on top of my drinks. I had iced tea, and the second I was like, I had maybe like a quarter left, less than half, they would come in, refill it.
Yep. That's 25%. That's the inside joke, guys. Anyway, I like the little touch there, JD. I was trying really hard to let off the gas on that, but I guess we'll go back to it. If we're doing this, I'll go back to it. Yeti had to take a to-go plate. Yeah. I mean, he didn't even finish his meal. Now, in terms of the serving size, I mean, the plates were a good, I don't know, 12, 13 inches across-ish.
Oh, these are good, like, family-sized plates.
It was packed. And the amount of meat, I got probably 6, 7 decent-sized 5-inch strips or so of, I mean, it went across the tortilla. It filled almost the entire thing.
I could take my meat and probably fit it in the palm of my hand.
Freezing.
The chicken, I would probably take all the chicken. It would probably be like I would have to spread my fingers. I'd probably fit all the chicken.
I'm sure there's some people out there like, I want to see that. You know who you are out there. All right. JD's had some stalkers out there. Anyways, JD's had
But I'm just saying, like, at least for me, the chicken alone was a good amount. And then underneath the chicken, you're like, oh, I forgot there was all these peppers and onions. And I was like, this is what I want. I love it. Because even those were seasoned.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was like, oh, it was just flavored. And it all, like, went together really well.
Now the beans weren't as salty. A lot of times you get refried beans, and the refried beans are, like, more... not that they're old, but it seems like whenever they refry them, they add a lot more salt.
Mm-hmm.
This is a little. I say a little. It was less salty compared to the other places I've been, which added to the flavor of the meat and vegetables.
Yes.
Because it was just that was pronounced, and the beans were just on the. Think of the beans as like the bass in a song. It was in the background, and it's important, but it didn't. The saltiness didn't take over for any of the rest of the food. Mm-hmm. It was great.
And because today is National Iced Tea Day, I had both sweet and unsweet tea. Both felt like they were brewed today and they weren't sitting for hours. Like it felt like fresh brewed tea, yes. Which I appreciate because I've gone places and it feels like the tea sat there overnight. It feels like they just brewed on top of what was ever left from yesterday. This was fresh and I was like, oh, I appreciated it. It being close to the southern states and that sweet tea, I felt the sweet tea was really good without being too sweet, but it was, I mean, if you weren't expecting sweet tea, this would have got you. It would have been like, ooh.
I got unsweet, so the unsweet tea was brewed great. It almost, You could tell it wasn't like sunty or anything, but you can tell it was fresh. I think because of the waiters and waitresses busting ass all day, that they just burn through the tea so fast. I think that's probably why some places don't go through tea as fast. I mean, that's why ours tasted as fucking clean as it did, was because, I mean, from the time we were there was at least a dozen people that came and went.
Yeah.
You know, so they're moving through people pretty quick. I mean, we hung out there for a little bit to really get a feel for the place and enjoy it. Kind of look at the staff and kind of look.
But there's people who came in before us and after us that came in and left before we were done.
Yeah, no. Again, it's just us hanging out, and they didn't slouch. They weren't like, oh hey, you've been here too long, here's your check. It was like, is there anything else y'all need? Y'all need anything? Would you like to add something to this? It was just very. It wasn't pushy in any way. It was just very at your own pace, which I also appreciate.
Yeah, and like even I'm not sure if they're the owners, managers, or whatever, but because they had their own little table up front where they were rolling silverware and napkins and stuff, and I swear they only sat down for like maybe like 5 minutes at a time. And even when they were sitting there, they were always the first ones up to greet people coming in. They'd pass them off, which I thought was really cool with the service too, is how quickly they pass off. Like one would get up to greet you, like you got two, would turn, and by the time they would turn, there was already someone crossing them with the menus, seating them, and they'd be like, all right, cool. And what I also thought, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but they seemed disappointed when somebody else stole their greeting, and I was like, dude, they were like, oh shit, I got up for nothing.
I guess I'll go back to rolling silverware. We have overall feel of the atmosphere. I'm gonna give it a 4. They were busy, but they were still personable. What do y'all rate atmosphere?
Out of what?
Out of 5.
I would give it a 4.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Now, in terms of the we all got different food, so the rating may be a little different. But again, we're going off personal experience for what we ordered, and based on previous experience. Again, we'll put the asterisk there. What did y'all think of your orders of food? Me, for the beef fajitas that I asked for, with everything else that they added. For flavor, I'm gonna give it a 4 for flavor. It is, in terms of the protein, everything on the plate was flavorful, minus the beans being less salty than I'm used to. But that's not a bad thing. So I'm gonna give it a 4. This is ranked up pretty high on my list so far.
Yeah, I agree. I had the chicken fajitas. I would give this a 4, just because I think the only thing that would elevate this is maybe like a different style of presentation. But I mean, the flavor profile was there, the portion size was there, and then everything that went into it. I just feel like there's very little that you could do to improve this. And that's why I was like, maybe the presentation was a little bit. But even then, the presentation was so well evenly spaced on the plate while still giving me a lot for my money.
I feel the only thing that could have been done differently is we ordered the lunch on the fajitas. If we ordered the dinner, we would have got the big sizzling plate, but I don't think I would have finished it.
Oh, I know I wouldn't have finished it.
So I think that this is the proper order. Yeti, I know this mole is the first time you've had it, and especially the first time you had it here. So what do you rate your?
I was gonna give mine a 4, but I'm gonna give it a 3.5.
Okay.
Because, like I said,
Too much chocolate.
no, it wasn't too much. They should have put a little more spice into it, like spicy. And they should have gave me beans with it. It should have came with beans.
You think it should have came with beans?
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, valid. I guess idea or criticism.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, we're going off our own personal experience. Take it with what you want. In terms of portions, I think in portions, I give it a 4 also, because we got, or at least in my opinion, I got the exact amount of food that I needed, and it wasn't overdone. I was not miserable, but I was right on the edge of it because I was like, man, I'm so full with the amount of food that I got. With the flavor, oh dude, this is where I was. I give it a 4 out of 5. What about you, JD? What do you rate it?
Portions, I'd give it a 4. 4 out of 5. I think it was just the right amount without being overdone, and because it wasn't. Again, I'm also kind of doing the presentation with that too. Is I feel like if it was on a scale, by the time I got to like the last piece of chicken for my protein, it didn't cook my food while it sat there. Because sometimes especially when you compare it to like Chili's. You gotta scrape the bottom of the skillet because everything kind of burnt to it. This one was so good from top to bottom.
Solid fucking rating. What about you, Yeti? And now again, this is based off the place we ate today. If we get something different, it could be a different review tomorrow. But this is where we are. First impressions for the business. Where are you at?
Yeah, I'll give it a 4 for presentation and all that. Yeah, I got enough where I was gonna get full from it.
I mean, you got it to go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
I give it a 4. I got enough, but it's just like I said, they should have put some beans or something and spices. But
I guess next time.
Overall, it was good.
I guess next time, if we go back, or when we go
I
back,
just always tell them, hey, give me a couple jalapenos in it, or
add some beans.
yeah.
So I think I think that pretty much covers everything. We've got the flavor profiles. I can't think of anything that we need to add besides the. What about wait staff? I guess we can rank the wait staff, right? I mean, I'm gonna give them a 4.5 out of 5 because nothing got empty without them either asking if we wanted a refill or just straight up giving us a refill. Whether it be on the salsa, the chips, the other chips, they were not even 25-ish%, which is a quarter, gone, and they had already brought us a new fucking basket. And the chips, real quick. Some places you can judge off the chips and salsa. The salsa was not very hot, but the chips, man, were they crispy. They were like fresh. They were great.
Yeah.
So I'll just throw that in there real quick. But yes, that's where I sit on that. I give them a 4.5. Some of the best hospitality. What about you? What do you rate them?
4.5 for sure. Like honestly, I feel like any more would have been overbearing. But I mean, our refills were always met. The super nice. I pointed out that based off their T-shirts, they've been in business since 2017, which from 2017 to 2020, where the I don't know what is beeping over here, but from 2017 to 2020, when they had the pandemic, like I feel like that'd be very hard for a business, and they showed that they've not only pushed past that, but they are where they are today. So, because 2017 till now, it's not that long, but it seems like they know what they are doing.
For almost 10 years.
Yeah.
Pretty good track record. And they survived the pandemic, the initial fucking brunt of 2020, and they're still here.
I feel like that speaks for how great their service is. So I'm like 4.5, super friendly, very family oriented. I loved it. I would definitely recommend it.
What about you, Yeti?
I give it a 4.5 because that just made us feel like we're wanted there. I like how the restaurants are like, order leave, hurry up and order leave.
Yeah, eat and get out.
Yeah. They didn't even put the check on us, or they're fucking actually treat us like we're human beings who actually that wanted to be there.
Yeah. Now, I know you guys are gonna ask, okay, well, you guys ordered all this, everything sounds fucking borderline perfect, minus some nitpicks. What was the price? Our plates were between 13 and 15 bucks a piece. Drinks are like $3, and we got free chips and salsa. So
and free refills.
And free refills, yeah. Some places charge for refills. You're right. I forgot.
Some people charge for fucking queso.
Yeah, I forgot about that nonsense. They gave us queso for free. They didn't even charge us for that. Which, it's a white queso, by the way, which is fucking also really great with bacon bits in it.
And they refilled it.
Yes. For free. So, I mean, overall, I think that counts for a lot.
Yeah, because usually when you get queso like that, they want like $6 for that shit.
And we all got our own individual little serving portions of regular salsa and queso for all three of us.
Mm-hmm.
So they brought out 6 bowls of this for us, which was fucking great.
I didn't realize that it was individuals after I took my first dip. I looked down, I was like, oh, and I switched them because I accidentally was dipping in yours. I was like, switch those around.
I was like, I didn't eat. I was eating the salsa and my queso's gone. Fucking JD. Yeah, that answers that question.
Yeah,
One case will go. JD's like, oh, I almost finished this. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. All right, well, I guess that covers it.
Yeah. Mole, some mole right here, food. Yeah.